All right, Errol the Truth Spence is back. Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu is a reality now. Now, if you saw my previous video, I talked about that this fight was coming, but now it's definitely legit. Errol and Tim Tszyu are going to get it on. Been waiting to see Errol back in action. I'm a huge Errol fan. But we got to address the monkey in the room. We haven't seen Errol in so long. What does this mean? We haven't seen him since the Terrence Crawford beatdown. Let's call it what it was. If you watch my previous videos, you know I was thinking that Spence could beat Crawford leading up to their fight. Even though I had a lot of respect for Terrence Crawford, knew he was a quality fighter. Not here to throw no shade his way. And after the fight, I was extremely impressed. My respect for Crawford went through the roof. And I was disappointed at how things went for Errol Spence. But at the same time, not disappointed like I lost any respect for Errol. Just disappointed I thought it'd be more competitive. But that shows you the greatness of Terrence Crawford. I'm not going to dwell on that too long, but I want to address that because after the fight is where I've learned more about Errol Spence. At least I think so. Just my humble opinion. It took a while for him to come back. I feel like that the fact that he didn't fight again for a while speaks to what that fight did to him physically, emotionally, mentally, and it took some time to recover. Did he want to box again? Turns out he does, and I'm glad about that because I wanted to see him back in the ring doing his thing, win, lose, or draw. After a loss like that, you just want to see a guy bounce back and at least get back in the ring. Sometimes guys never fight again after a loss like that. So this tells me that Errol Spence, and this isn't a tune-up here. Errol, like he said, he doesn't take tune-ups. Tim Tszyu's a quality fighter. He's jumping right into the ring, moving up to 154 against a quality opponent. So that tells me a lot about Errol too. Even though it took some time, he took his time and he's ready. He even addressed people saying that, he wasn't mentally there with Crawford because of people were talking about his speech. And he talked about the surgery he's had to have on his mouth and like how his jawline is a little messed up before the Crawford fight and how his speech wasn't extremely clear before, but it definitely was affected since then. I believe him with that. I never thought that it was Errol because of the accident, couldn't focus and wasn't there. And this isn't the Errol Spence of old. I didn't buy into that. I just thought Crawford came in prepared and Crawford did his thing and Errol had no answers. And Crawford had all the answers to the test. But this fight is different. Errol and Tim Tszyu both are about that action. They will step to each other. Tim Tszyu likes to scrap, likes to get in close quarters. And he is a guy that has a lot of heart. So can Errol wear down on him and break his will like he's done in some of his big-time fights when we've seen Errol at his best? Tim isn't extremely skilled like a Crawford. So I really do think that Errol has a really good shot in this fight. But his biggest competition is going to be the layoff. He hasn't been in the ring for a while. Tim Tszyu's been more active since that Crawford fight. Win, lose, or draw, Tim Tszyu's at least been in the ring, and that matters. So one credit to Errol is that when he has had time off, he's still come back ready. He's usually, if he says he's ready to go, he's ready to go. So congratulations to the big fish. We glad you back in the ring. I think that this fight is going to go to distance. I don't think Errol will stop him. Not coming back into this fight from such a long layoff. but I do think Errol can win. When we get closer to the week of the fight, I'll give a breakdown on just how he wins. But I do think Errol can win this fight, but it's no guarantee. And if he loses, what does that mean for Errol Spence? Does he stay in the game? Is this just to get himself back in just so he can know for himself that, he didn't just quit after what happened with Crawford? A lot of questions to be answered. Let me know what y'all think out there. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you looking for. J Heat Sports Media. And I'm coming at y'all with that fire as always. It's time to subscribe. Y'all know where to find me. YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.